Hello, everyone. It's your teacher, Stephanie Ponteau. Welcome back to English class. I'm so glad you're here. This is the Vision Church Level 2 class, and today's lesson is Wednesday, June 10th, and it's part 3 of our class. And in this class, we're going to continue on in lesson F. We're going to be on page 132. But before you turn to 132, let's review and warm up and get ready for this lesson. Now, in Unit 10, so far, well, really, this whole unit is going to be about free time and what we do in our free time. And we've been talking about celebrations and special occasions, right? Yeah, and so have any of you been to a party or special occasion in the past week? With COVID-19 going on, probably not. How about last month? Probably not, because the COVID-19 stuff was still going on. How about the month before that, which would have been April, because this is June. In April? No, probably not, because it was really getting, everyone was afraid and it was really getting, building up, right? So probably not in April. How about the month before that, in March? Probably not. We've been in our homes for months now, haven't we? And I'm sure it has been very challenging for everyone. And it's been a little challenging for us, just getting bored and kids getting cabin fever and trying to keep them busy with something besides video games. So, anyway, so just think back, however many months back you need to go, to think about the last time you attended some type of special occasion, like a birthday party or a graduation, a baby shower, housewarming, a baptism, any of those types of things. Think back to the last time you went and celebrated with someone for a special occasion. Now, my question is, how did you know about that special occasion? How did you know? You probably were invited, right? And there are different ways that you can invite someone to a special occasion, right? You can mail an invitation, which I don't think anybody does anymore. I don't, yeah, I haven't gotten an invitation in the mail in years. But that's one way you can do it. You can mail an invitation. You can call them and invite them with a phone call. You can send an email or you can send a text message, right? So there are many ways that you can invite someone to a special occasion. All right. And so today we are going to practice reading an Evite. Do you know what an Evite is? An Evite is an electronic invitation. That's where the E comes from. So they just took off the N-I-N and put an E for electronic. So an Evite is an invitation that you get through email, right? Or it's electronic, right? Okay, so what we're going to do in lesson F, we're going to read an invite to a party, and we're going to, an Evite to a party, and we're going to review topic vocabulary, and then we're going to go over there is, there are, and there was, there were. Now, we'll continue on with lesson F in probably part 2. In part 1 of the video for next week for Monday, whatever Monday's date is. So we'll review that then. But we're going to get started with lesson F in this lesson. Okay, so now you can go ahead and open your books to page 132. And on page 132, there is an Evite, which is an invitation that you get in email. All right, so we're going to read this Evite, which is an invitation to a party. And so just look at that, and I'm going to ask you some questions about that invitation, okay? So looking at the invitation, who received the invitation? Who received it? So look in the top area. You've got the from and to. So the two are the people who received it. And that was Will and Katia. Will and Katia received the invitation, okay? All right. It is an Evite to Will and Katia, and they received it through email. All right. And who is it from? Who sent the invitation? Okay, and it's just from Tom and Louisa, right at the top. All right, so invitation was sent to Will and Katia from Tom and Louisa. All right, so you see that right after where it gives the place. So you get all the information that you need for the party on your invitation, right? So it's got for, which tells you what kind of party it is, what you're celebrating, and then you have the date that tells you when the party is going to be. Look, it says for again. Now that's a mistake in this invitation. It should say time. So it should be for, then date, then time. So the time of the party is 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then it gives you the place and RSVP. Now, what does RSVP mean? What does that acronym mean? So RSVP is actually a French phrase that means please respond. And so if you receive an invitation that has RSVP on it, that means they want you to reply back to the person who sent you the invitation and let them know if you are coming. So if you've ever sent an Evite, um, it's a really great tool because there's a button that you can hit to send your response back. And people usually want a response back on invitations where they're serving food and drink, and they want to know how much to buy. Usually, like if it's a catered event. And when you know what cater means, so I'm going to write that word on the board in case you've never heard it before. You probably have, but just in case. Cater. So when you say a party is catered, which is past tense, so when you cater an event, that means someone is preparing the food for you. And there's usually a cost per person. So that's one of the reasons people might want you to RSVP or respond because they're trying to plan how much food they need to get, how much drink they need to get, because they want to make sure that everyone has enough. Now, if it's a party, just a little simple thing at home where you're just having maybe pizza and chips and drink, you don't necessarily have to know exactly who's coming because, you get enough pizza, even if you got some left over, you can eat it the next day, right? So, okay, so just remember, anytime you see a RSVP on your Evite, they want to know if you're coming because they need to know the head count, okay? All right, so all right, so let's look at this Evite again. So it says RSVP and it gives a phone number and it says by December 15th. So that means they want you to respond to this telephone number by this date because the party is on the December 31st. So that means that's about 2 weeks ahead. So they want time to be able to go shopping and make preparations, right? Okay, so RSVP to this number by this date. All righty. And then let's see. Let's see. All right, so let's go ahead and read everything on this Evite, okay? So it says, join us right here for a New Year's Eve party. The date is Wednesday, December 31st, which is New Year's Eve, right? The time is 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. The place is Tom and Louisa's house, and they live at 76 North Street, apartment 6A. And they want you to RSVP or respond to this number right here, 813-555-1234 by December 15th. And it says, please bring something to drink. No children, please. Hope you can come. Now, this is what we call a BYOB party. When they say please bring something to drink, they're not talking about a soda. BYOB, a BYOB party, it means bring your own bottle. Okay? That's what BYOB means. Bring your own bottle. Hold on one second. Okay, so down here in this note, when they say please bring something to drink, they're not talking about Kool-Aid or soda or Gatorade. They're talking about alcohol. Bring your own bottle. That's so you call that a BYOB party when people have to bring their own alcohol. And that's probably why it says no children. No children, please, with a big exclamation point. Because, when people are going to be partying and drinking, that's not the best place to have children, okay? So just know that when they say bring your own drink, they're talking about alcohol. All right, so let's get into this lesson. All right, exercise A. Read the questions, look at the invitation, fill in the answer. All right. Number 1. What time will the party begin? So look at the invitation. It should say time, but this was a misprint. I told you, every now and then we find errors in the book, and they have 4 twice. They have 4, which is telling you what the party is for, then the date, then this should be time. So that second 4 really should be time. So what time will the party begin? Yes, 8 p.m. So number 1 is C. Number 2, what does RSVP mean? And I told you that, right? It means yes, B. Reply to say yes or no to the invitation, or respond. When you reply, that's the same as responding. Okay, so number 2 is B. They want you to reply to say yes or no to the invitation. All right, number 3. What should people bring to the party? Should they bring their children? No, absolutely not, because the invitation specifically said no children, please. All right. So what should they bring to the party? Yes, something to drink. That's what the note at the bottom says. All right. So number 3 is A. And then number 4, which statement is true? So let's just read these statements. Tom and Louisa are giving the party. Will and Katya are giving the party. The party is from 8 to midnight, and you need to reply after December 15th. So all of those statements are false except one. Which one is correct? Yes. A is the correct answer. Tom and Louisa are giving the party. And how do we know that? Because the from on the Evite lets you know who is giving the party, who the invitation came from. Okay. Now, sometimes people will have someone else organize a party for them. Like this weekend, I was invited to a birthday / gender reveal party. Have you ever heard of that? That's a new thing nowadays, a gender reveal party. And that's a party where um, usually the parents don't know the sex of the baby, and neither do the guests. Only the person who organized the party knows. And so they will reveal or show or let everyone know. So when you reveal something, you show it. Like, so let's say um, if I came in and I had a coat on, I came into the party with a coat on, and when I got there, I opened up my coat to reveal my outfit that I was wearing. So the gender reveal party. So I was invited to one this weekend. I wasn't able to go, but I did use Zoom, and I zoomed in so that I could see what was going on. So at that party, they revealed the sex of the baby. That's gender, if your child is a male or female. So, yeah, I kind of got off on a tangent with that, but anyway, it was really fun. And she's having a girl, and it's my chiropractor, who's also my friend, and she's 50, and she's having her first child. So that's pretty exciting. She's kind of on the older end for having children, but she's very excited. Her husband is excited. She's in great health, and so we're excited for her, and she's expecting that a baby, like 5 months from now. So anyway, all right. So I think I answered number 4, that Tom and Louisa are giving the party. All right. So let's go on to exercise B, where we've got a problem to solve. So let me make sure that I covered everything I wanted to. All right, so let's go B. Solve the problem. Which solution is best? Circle your opinion. Now, when it's that kind of question, an opinion question, there's not one answer. It's what you think. Your opinion is how you feel. It's what you think. So it's not a right or wrong, okay? All right, solve the problem. Which solution is best? Circle your opinion. Okay, this is the problem. Jose got an invitation to go to his friend's wedding. The invitation was addressed to Mr. and Mrs. Lopez. They have 3 children. What should he do? Number 1, go to the wedding with his wife and 3 children. Number 2, go to the wedding without his children. Number 3, ask his friend if the children can go to the wedding. And number 4, other. Now, what do you guys think? What's the best solution to this problem? Now, I'm going to tell you my opinion. If I knew the people very well and I had their phone number, I would probably call and ask, hey, is it okay for me to bring the kids? So that's one answer. And then I think another good answer is number 3, option 3, which is number 1 actually is, I think 1 or 3 are both good options. Go to the wedding with his wife and 3 children. because normally if people don't want you to bring children, they will say so in the invitation, just like Tom and Louisa said, no children, please. Most people for an event, if it's really not appropriate for children, they will say, if they don't want you to bring your children, they will say that in the invitation. And the fact that it was addressed to Mr. and Mrs. Lopez, I don't think means they don't want children, because they don't say Mr. and Mrs. Lopez and children. No one addresses it that way. You address it to the adults. So I think if they didn't want children, they would say it in the invitation. So I think 1 or 3. If you really want to be sure, number 3. But I think you will be safe to take your children to a wedding if the invitation did not say no children. Okay? So that's my opinion. But you can't go wrong with number 1 if you can, number 3, if you get a babysitter and go without the children. So either one is good, I think. All right, so let me make sure I covered everything. I think we're almost done with this. Okay, well, before we finish, I got a couple more questions for you. We were going to have this conversation in groups. Yeah, this would be difficult to do, this other little exercise, because we were going to talk about parties, and you're going to ask each other questions about whether or not you like parties, if you like to go to parties, if you like to give parties, and do you usually bring something to the party and things like that. So this would have been a fun conversation if we were in class, but since we are not, we can't talk about it. But so let me tell you what the homework is. We always assign homework on Wednesdays, and we are almost done. So it's going to be a few pages, going to be like 6 pages of homework, but you have all weekend to do it. And so the homework is pages 114 to 119. And the reason I'm giving you so many pages is because we're going to be finished in another week. And we need to get through this homework so that we can review it and practice everything we possibly can, okay? So homework, hopefully you can read that, is page 114 to 119. And we will review that in our Monday class. So I hope you stay safe and well. Enjoy your family. I miss you guys very much. Take care. Bye-bye.